What's up guys, Elfis here, and today we're going to be doing another replay analysis. Thank you to Oceapollen for giving us this replay analysis. In this particular one, Oceapollen actually listed a bunch of the mistakes he made. He wanted me to focus more so on the Hellbourne team rather than him, so that's what we're going to be doing. He's playing on the Legion team, and basically I looked at the stats a little bit before this game, and just looking at the stats, it looks like this is one of the games where the Hellbourne team never had a chance. It looks like this is one of the games where they were just continuously outplayed all game long. But I am kind of curious how they didn't have somewhat of a chance because of the scout on their team that does fairly decent. So we're going to go ahead and start the game. We're going to let the picks go on. I'm actually quite interested to see this game because we get to see a lodestone on the Legion team. This is the first game I've seen a lodestone in, so I'm actually going to be really curious to see how it works out. He does actually play decently based on his stats, but you know, that could just be because of how poor the Hellbourne team is. It doesn't necessarily mean he's a good player, but I don't want to try and take anything away from people. But so Oceapollen is orange over here on this team, but again, we're going to be focusing mostly on the Hellbourne team, the mistakes they make. He wants to know how they could have salvaged the game if possible, and when, if at a certain time, they lost the game. It was just lost. It went from being, you know, usually games go from being even to lost at some point. Or they just get outplayed constantly and they have lost within the first few minutes of the game, which we'll see here in a minute, I guess. We'll wait to see which one it is. So, okay, so team-wise, Hellbourne, we got Scout, Kraken, Legionnaire, Arachna, Voodoo Jester. It's actually not a terrible team composition. It's certainly not great. I think they didn't need either the Kraken or Legionnaire, probably Kraken, I would think, and they could have gone for another support instead, but it's not terrible. And the Legion team, we have Slither, Ophelia, Grinix, Lodestone, and I can't think of the word right now, Riftwalker, thank you, and Riftwalker. Okay, so that's actually kind of an odd team composition too. They don't really have like a hard carry. They kind of have a weird team composition. It's hard to actually say. That's not really a good team composition, I think, but that's because I haven't really had very much experience with Lodestone, so I'm not totally sure what the deal is with that. Okay, so now I'm getting a little bit confused. We got, okay, Scout's just warding and then he's going top. Alright, that's fine. Sending Scout solo top, a little bit odd. Oops, let's move this out of the way. I think Scout should have been bot, or actually bot or mid, and they should have sent Kraken and Arachna as their two solos. But, you know, it's not terrible. This is actually like a 1500 level game. There was, you know, it ranges from somewhere in the 16s to somewhere in the 14s, but, you know, it averages out to be about a 1500 level game. So we have a Lodestone Grinix lane. That's going to be kind of fun to watch since I really don't see much Grinix, and I don't see any good Grinixes really. I've seen one or two. And we get to see Lodestone, so it's a 2-for-1. I get to see 2 wins. So they counter ward your jungle spawn here, which is actually really nice. They don't need to knock down these trees here, but I mean they do. It's fine. It's not bad, and you know, it doesn't really make a difference, I guess. Kind of just makes it obvious that their ward is here probably. So maybe that, you know, I don't think you guys are going to end up counter warding it, but if you were to, it would be pretty obvious, you know, what's happening. So starting items for the Hellbourne side, since we're focusing on them. Scout starting items, totally fine. He's not going to have the best mid lane, but he'll have an okay mid lane, I guess, since it's against Riftwalker. Legionnaire starting items, poor. He should have gotten a second shield instead of a hatchet. I've said it many times before, I don't like hatchet on him. Okay, Arachna's starting items, a little bit odd. She should have just gotten the +2 or 3 armor, I don't remember what the item's called. And then some regen and maybe a few stats. Getting a full Ring of the Teacher at level 1 isn't really super awesome. Although actually, you know, she's against a double melee, so she's not gonna have, she shouldn't have that bad of a lane. Alright, down here, Kraken's items fine, and Voodoo Jester's items, they're fine. It looks like he, well, no, that's fine, I guess. You got a ward too, so it's fine, okay, so Ophelia and them, they just push this lane up instantly, so that's not good for the Legion side. if the Hellbourne side were good, I'm not sure if they're going to, but they could easily zone out this Slither. I mean, Slither's only level 2 against the 2 of them. Yeah, Voodoo Jester could easily zone him. I don't think that's what's going to happen, but we'll see. So creep score, we're going to go over creep score since we've done starting items so far. So far, the starting items are terrible for the Hellbourne side, but they're not great either. Starting items for the Legion side, I think, are much better. I like them much, much, much better. I really have no problems with these, with the exception of Lodestone. I don't know how you should build him yet, so I'm not sure if those are good starting items. I don't think they're really all that good, but maybe. And, okay, so that didn't work out so well for Arachna. So apparently this is a pretty kill-heavy team. I've watched the Hero Spotlight. Sorry about that. I've watched the Hero Spotlight for Lodestone. He seems kind of weird, but I guess he's kind of like a Genji hero. It's kind of interesting. So, other than his items, everybody else on this team's fine. But so let's go over creep score real quick. Scout and Legionnaire are top in the game right now with 11. Legionnaires aren't really true creep scores. They're kind of like fake creep score though, you know, because he's jungling. But either way, so Scouts are actually true creep scores. So 12 against 4 in his mid. So he's winning mid lane pretty badly. He's already got a bottle, 3 minutes, but you know, it's fine. I don't know if I'd actually have gotten a bottle on him, but you know, it's not that big of a deal either way. So it is what it is. Arachna dying again to top. So looking at the stats, Arachna dies 14 times in this game, so I'm going to imagine that these two are just going to raffle stomp her the entire time here top. So here's what I would say. Right out of the gate, I would say that they need to change something up. Either have Arachna not do this lane and go mid and send Scout up here. Scout will do better because he has an invis. Or he may get less last hits, but you know, you won't feed 14 kills hopefully. Or have Legionnaire and Scout start ganking, because that is going to be, you can't just sacrifice lanes like that. I've said that a couple times in my videos. You can't just sacrifice lanes just because it's not your lane, you know what I mean? It's a team game. So if the team is losing, it matters. So Arachna's just keep coming back up here. She's still got no items, no gold. I imagine she's not going to have a very fun game. So Scout picking up his boots. So he's got boots bottle at 4 minutes. So Scout's doing pretty good. 21 last hits. 22 on Legionnaire. I imagine he's got his health tube coming. Yes, maybe. Maybe it's in his stash. I can't see. You actually can't see people's stash. So I would imagine he has a health tube or the money for it or something. Because I mean, he's down to 130, so he must have bought the health tube, I would think. Yeah. So here it comes. So here's the health tube, and he's getting a health potion, which he probably wouldn't need had he just went double shields instead of a hatchet. But hey. So we got a health tube on Kraken too. That's pretty good. Sorry for the sniffling, by the way. I have a little bit of a runny nose at the moment, so I apologize for that. We got a health tube on him. Voodoo Jester doesn't got anything. That's fine. I wouldn't really expect much on him. Ophelia. What are we getting on Ophelia? Just boots so far in the ring. That's fine. Not so many ganks coming out from Ophelia. Yeah, see, they're just diving constantly here. So this is when you know you need to help the lane out. When they're diving this far and still getting out pretty easily. So you need to help the lane. So this is not acceptable. So what I will say is right away my first thing to change is Legionnaire needs to come help. That's his job as the jungler right here. He needs to help his side lane when they need help, alright? So Legionnaire needs to come help. And actually once Scout hits 6, which should be relatively shortly here, he should grab his ultimate and he should come help too. She's only got 3 deaths so far, so it's not, you know, by any means like you know, they can't, you know, how am I saying this? They can't like not save the lane, if that makes any sense. They can still save the lane is all I'm trying to say. It's not like lost. So he's buying an item here, I think. Let's see. Ring. Okay, so he's going for his steam boots. I would have gone for the sustainer first, because you don't need the extra move speed on Scout because of his invisibility. And also, sometimes I actually kind of like phase boots better. Even though you can't use the phase, that extra damage is really nice. But so I'm not against steam boots by any means. I still like steam boots on him. I just think it's not quite as good. So she should probably Well, actually, she knows Lodestone isn't there, so it's fine. Oh, well, he's invis here, so she doesn't know he's not here, I guess. But actually, if they have both the runes warded, so they should have known. Scout should know if he was paying attention as mid, which he should. Scout should know that Lodestone has an invis rune, not necessarily right here, but... And I think he does, and I think that's why he's staying back so far. So the Scout's actually not a bad player. 31, 32 CK at just about 7 minutes. His CK is just about on par. It's totally fine. He is actually, so far, I would say, one of the best players in the game. Which is a lot. I mean, they're pink, so it kind of makes sense. Oh, here we go. So just invis. See, this is what I'm saying. Scout. This is why Scout is good at, you know, avoiding ganks, especially Lodestone, because his stun's like delayed. He shoots his pole and then he like jumps to it. So Scout, they should have traded lanes with Arachna. I think Arachna would have done much better against this, against Riftwalker. And again, Scout would have been behind a little bit on CK, but it's better than having him feed kill after kill top. So Legionnaire pulling here. It's kind of a little bit late to start pulling and helping, but hey, what you gonna do? So we got these guys. So he misses his stun. I would imagine they're not gonna get the kill here. I hope. Okay, so this is bad now. He shouldn't have gotten that kill. Or okay, he dies in the process. That's fine. He shouldn't have gotten that kill though. I mean, had Arachna maybe slowed him once and then ran. I'm not sure if he slowed him when he ran. I wasn't totally paying attention, but I don't think it was Arachna's fault on that one. I think, you know, it was a combination of the two. But hey. Okay, so let's see. Items again. We got completed boots on Scout. The Scout's doing quite well, actually. We're just about 40 minutes at, or just about 40 CK at 8 minutes. He's just a little bit under par in his CK, but totally fine. He's just about where I want him to be. Legionnaire should be rearing up on a helm within the next 2 to 4 minutes. If he doesn't have a helm by 12 minutes, he's doing this very poorly. That's something you need to have as Legionnaire. And it looks like he's got something on the way. Okay, so he went boots. That's fine. You still need to get your helm by, you know, by 12 minutes. All right, that's still a good time. You need to. That means you're doing good as jungling. If you get it by 14, 15, you're a little bit slow. So we got Voodoo Jester continuing to buy wards. I love it. Good job, Voodoo Jester. The only thing is, okay, he placed it here. So now I take that back. I don't love this. This is only if you're ganking the jungle, which you guys really haven't been doing. I mean, you come once or twice, but not really. So I'm not really on that side there. So thank you for the wards, but you know, you should put them in the right place still. So we got a Slither and a Scout. Slither probably can kill Scout, but he'll probably die in the process. So I don't know if I would want to do that as Slither. I like using Scout's ultimate to harass, especially if you have a bottle, but I like just using it to, you know, just to harass people, just make them leave, essentially. Like, if he ulted right now, he wouldn't kill him, but he would force Slither to leave the lane. Slither would go B. Which he probably will go B in a minute anyways, but you never know, I guess. Yeah, so he had a regen too. I definitely would have used it then. So that's even better. So this Scout is doing really good, is all I'm saying. Okay, so they got 1 kill on top. They got Grinix for the tower. They didn't get the tower deny, which is unfortunate. And I'm actually going to come back a few seconds just to see if they could have gotten the tower deny. So taunt, hopefully. There, you should have tower denied right there, Arachna. He's already slowed by your ultimate and all that. You should have tower denied. Okay, so tower denied. They missed that. They could have gotten that and the kill. There was no reason not to. I mean, it was a little bit of greed, but there's no reason not to. You could have done fine. Voodoo Jester needs to hit 6 here. He's getting a little bit under-leveled, even against the Arachna, who has 5 deaths. So you need to kind of pick it up a little bit, Voodoo Jester. But I mean, you're playing support. It's just that you haven't been dying, and we even had a kill. So really, realistically, you need to have some more experience under your belt. And it looks like, yeah, okay. So Voodoo Jester is definitely going to die here. Kraken is fine, I think. Yeah. Okay. So actually, no, Ophelia's leveling a little bit weird. Oh, sorry. No, so yeah, so does that thing really do that much damage? It only does 75 damage. I guess Voodoo Jester didn't have that much health, huh? Alright, oh well. How much health does he have? Can I see that? Yeah, 625. Okay, so, I guess, but I thought he would have more than that. But okay, either way, it's fine. Legionnaire, we're rearing up on 11 minutes, and I don't know what you bought, but I hope. Okay, I don't know where all your money went, man. You should have more than this though. Okay, so you only have 250 gold here. He just spent 250. He just spent some of it to get what I'm imagining is a health potion or something. Okay, he just spent the rest of it. I don't know what this guy's spending his stuff on, but okay. So Legionnaire looks like he's building a bit odd. Arachna hiding up here. Arachna, you need to leave. This is not okay anymore. All right, your tower's gone. You have one little scout ward here, but that's not okay when those two can come up and kill you. All right. So this Arachna, very misplaying here. All right, shouldn't be here. Wow, these guys can even kill. They can even kill Kraken. Really, he's really tanky. Okay, so that's interesting. So I imagine we're going to see a Sustainer coming out from Scout. Okay, so we got the Helm, just pre-20 for a Legionnaire, so that's fine. Legionnaire's on par. Scout's CK, still just, he keeps getting a little bit further behind each time I look, but he's still doing fine. Grinix is CK, so you guys, all your CK is a little bit low. Yeah, a little bit low. Grinix is the closest to being where he should be, but even his is a little bit low. Especially Lodestone should have more if you get a hatchet. If you get a hatchet to start, that means you're going to be getting farm. It means that you're committing to farming. Okay, that's a big commitment to farming you're making. So if you're just gonna if you're not gonna get CK with it, you probably shouldn't be farming with it. So Scout's here. I don't know if you saw the Slither. This is one more. Now ult. Yep, you're dead. Okay, perfect. See, the Scout's playing quite well, actually, and he could even kill Slither too, I think. But I like the Scout, so the Scout's doing really good. I don't think he should have gone mid still, but hey, he's still doing really good. So we even got Striders on our Voodoo Jester, it's fine. Scout can even come up and like beat on these guys like when they're coming through there. Any of these melee guys, oh, I guess it's just these two. I believe Grinix is melee. I would have to, yeah, I think he's melee. Attack type melee. Okay, yeah, so he is melee. So Grinix or Lodestone, he can come up as long as they're far enough out that he's safe, or if they are, or you know, oh, you're dead. Yeah, this guy's dead. Okay, and Arachna died again because she's too far out. You can't be here anymore, Arachna. It's not okay. So the Arachna's playing pretty poorly. But this isn't game over at this point. With a Scout on the team who's doing this well, he just even got a full Sustainer. He could, right now, he can kill Ophelia, Riftwalker, or Slither pretty much no problem, and probably even Lodestone too, if he had to think about it. I think here's his problem right now. This is what Scout should be doing, I think. Because of how bad they're losing, Scout should realize that they're not going to win this game if he tries to farm. Okay, if he tries to just out-farm you guys and farm up his items and play it that way, I don't think you guys would, they would stand a chance, really. I mean, they wouldn't be totally out, but I think it'd be unlikely that they would win if he did that. So what I think he should be doing, I mean, now it doesn't work because they're grouping up to push, but they were, all split up. He should be running around. Oh, nice guess there. Unfortunately, you used it, on the Scout, who has so much move speed, you're not going to touch him. But he should have been running around in their jungle, killing anybody who's farming or doing whatever. And if you guys had pushed, hopefully, the bottom tower by now, well, I guess not you guys because you're on the Legion, but if the Hellbourne team had pushed, hopefully at least the bottom tower by now. Alright, so there's one. Trading a Riftwalker for the Arachna is a fine trade, considering the Arachna is doing pretty poorly. I would make that trade any day. So over here, Scout should be here killing him. Scout's full HP, he should be up here killing him. He's not going to get him. So he should turn around and kill Ophelia right now. Getting tunnel vision is not the way to win a game. So he could probably kill Lodestone too, actually. He could just pick one off and leave. I would have done that. But, I mean, maybe he would have died in the process. So I can see his skepticism in that. But hey, I think he would have done it. So he could have done it, sorry. So Scout's a little bit behind. Creep kill wise, he should be at about 75 by now. Well, actually even more than that, like 80, 85 maybe. So he's a little bit behind where he should be. He should have his first whatever that thing is called, the 1200 item for the Rune Axe. I don't know the name of it, but you guys know the item I'm talking about. I guess I can just look. Combative Rune Axe, broadsword. He should have his first broadsword by now. At least he's just about to have enough for it, but that's okay. So Legionnaire, I imagine he's going to complete his boots next. He has no money. Did he just spend it? No. Okay, so Arachna needs to complete her boots. After that, Arachna should go for a surviving item, such as a surviving item for a carry, such as either a shrunken head or an assassin's shroud. Either or I would be okay with. I imagine that's not what she's going to go for. I actually don't remember what her items were at the end, but I don't think she had either of those. I could be wrong though. Okay, so yeah, so Legionnaire, everybody's doing okay. This shouldn't be allowed. You guys should have some kind of protection to see injuries. Okay, so you guys are getting off the stomp here. There you go, Scout. You should ult him right now, Scout. Yep. The ult. There we go. Alright, now Scout invis in a sec here. There you go, and then he leaves. That's what Scout does. Kills somebody, and then leaves. That's how you play Scout. So this guy's doing a pretty good job as Scout. And actually, if you were paying attention, he could have even popped this to maybe help save his teammate a little bit more. It wasn't necessary, but, you know, just a little bit of insurance is, you know, never hurts anybody. So, when Scout comes back, I imagine he's not going to do this, but when Scout comes back, by the way, we have, I can't see their invincibility, what the cooldown is, so I don't know if it's up or not. But so when Scout comes back, what he should be doing is just ulting people to start, to initiate fights. He should be ulting them. So, like, chasing this is okay, I guess, but really, what he should have done is ulted Grinix, you know, or Ophelia. I would have probably gone for Ophelia, but ulted Grinix or Ophelia back there and slowed them to begin with, then ran in. It's meant to be an initiation technique, not a finisher move. And that's where a lot of Scouts kind of mess up. They use it as a finisher, and it actually ends up letting people get away because they didn't use it as initiation instead. So we got completed boots on Legionnaire. Those are fine. I like the boots. Legionnaire's doing fine so far, except for that hatchet that he started with. Scout's doing fine so far. Kraken's doing fine so far. Kraken's CK is a little bit below where I would like it to be, but hey, it's okay, I guess. So Voodoo Jester should be stacking these for Scout, which is unfortunate that he's not. We got another death on Arachna. Come on, Arachna. You can't, like, this is not an okay location to be when you don't have any sight past this. You need to have sight past where you're gonna be, okay? So Arachna needs to kind of use a little bit more map awareness. She can't be running around like this. I will say this time and time again, that it is better to be sitting there doing nothing than running out and dying, okay? You're better to just sit at your tower doing absolutely nothing, I think, than running out and dying. You're not helping your team by running out and dying. Now, if you're running out and dying and getting stuff done in the process, it's a different story. But if you're just running out and dying, you're better off to sit there and do nothing, because you're literally doing nothing. You're hurting the team more than you're helping. So we got Scout running around placing some wards. Scout actually, oh sorry, he still only has a level 1. What a lot of Scouts don't do is when they get this to level 4, they don't place extra eyes around the map like they should. And we'll see if he does that when it gets to that point. So we can see that the Legion's pretty far ahead at this point. It's just naturally because of the kills on Arachna, really. That's just kind of what it is. And a bit on Voodoo Jester too. He's been kind of feeding a little. So Scout hopefully comes back when he sees these guys kill Arachna up here. They really don't like Arachna, jeez. He really does not like Arachna, oh my god. So Scout should be coming back, and when he saw these guys pass his ward, he should be leaving. Yeah, he definitely shouldn't be fighting this, and neither should Legionnaire, who looks like he's going to stick around for the fight. Yep, and die. Alright, so Scout's doing decent, but unfortunately it's not a one-man game. Even though Scout is such a hard carry, it's really hard to try and win 1v5, so he shouldn't have actually been here. I mean, it's not 4, I guess, so this is a really nice combo. I like the Voodoo Jester. I don't know how he just saw him, actually. That's kind of odd. They don't have any res here. Oh, they have an eye from Ophelia, sorry. Okay, so they have an eye. So this team fight is really what killed you guys, or killed the Hellbourne team. this team fight definitely cost you the game if you weren't already down. So this team fight, you just lost 4 people. You're going to lose at least 1 tower, if not more. Actually, you lost all 5 because Arachne died before this. But this, yeah, that, you see, even Grinix is calling out GG. Now, that was the fight, but now there's no coming back. Now it's done. So now you're all going to be under-leveled, under-farmed, under everything. See, even Scout, who's the highest level on the team, tied with Legionnaire, is level 11, and their highest is 15. They have 2 11s and a 12, and by the way, Arachne, again, running out way too far. I don't know what Voodoo Jester is doing. He's running out too far there too. Like this is what continuously kills games when people run out way too far one at a time. Ult from Scout. Oh, unfortunately, that's not enough. He's dead. Oh, this Grinix is actually playing quite well. I like the Grinix. He's actually playing really good. But at this point, it's over. The game's GG at this point. The game actually continues to go on for another 14 minutes. But the game ended here, so this is where the Hellbourne team lost their chance to come back, assuming that the Legion team doesn't make significant mistakes. When anybody says that the game's over, they mean that the game's over assuming the Legion team, or the winning team, I guess, plays it properly for the rest of the game. There are mistakes that the Legion team could make that would turn the game around, that would give the Hellbourne a chance to win. It's highly unlikely, it doesn't happen very often, but it is possible, so we'll see. Okay, so, see, item-wise, Scout, still no Rune Cleaver at 23 minutes almost. This is bad. This is really bad for Scout. You want to have a Rune Cleaver by, like, 18 minutes, 20 minutes tops. Alright, usually you'll see people get them by, like, 25 or something. That's slow. That means those are the people who are getting them slow. So as we'll see, his CK is about 40 behind where it should be, which is bad. He's 3-2. He shouldn't have 2 deaths as Scout. The kills is fine. 3 kills is normal for a normal game. I mean, this isn't really a normal game. There's been kind of a lot of action, but assuming it was a normal game, that's a fine amount. Grinix here to kill somebody. Hopefully he attempts to kill him. Oh, I was going to say if he attempts to kill him, but doesn't realize Scout's right there, that would be great. So this, you guys saw them walk past the Scout ward. You know there's probably only 2 of them. They could have come in maybe this way, but there's probably only 2 of them. So this is actually a fight I would have picked. Your odds are in your favor that you will outnumber them. It's not guaranteed, but the odds are in your favor. So usually you want to base your decisions a lot of the time off of statistics more so than fact, because a lot of it is up to, speculation. You can't really tell 100% of the time what a lot of it is. So in that particular case, I know what it is, but I think based on what you saw with your wards, it would have been in your favor to actually do it, and this is kind of a wasted ward considering you have a Scout ward here. So Voodoo Jester, come on, that's 2 ward placements in a row. I've seen that are a little bit iffy. Maybe pick it up a little bit, man. Well, actually, I don't know if they were in a row, but you know what I mean. So, okay. This Mystic Vestments on Voodoo, totally fine with that. Mystic Vestments on Legionnaire, totally fine with that. And what looks like a Soul's Bulwark on Kraken. Okay, I'm fine with that. I maybe would have gone for something different. I'm not entirely sure. It's kind of up for debate, but I think a Soul's Bulwark is totally fine. Alright, so I'm not mad about that. And what looks like a Assassin Shroud on Arachne, so maybe she does build it. I don't recall, actually. And finally, oh my god, I'm sorry about that. I apologize for yawning. And finally, we have a Rune Cleaver at about 24 minutes on Scout. So that's a late Rune Cleaver. That's a late Rune Cleaver. So we got the deny up here, which is nice. I believe that was us who got the deny. Yeah, Kraken who got the deny on the tier 2 tower. Right. Oh, sorry, it's right here. This is where the tier 2 tower is. So that's pretty good. You can tell because that's where the ground's all messed up from the tower being there. Alright, so you guys, you've taken 2 towers. I think it's actually your creeps that have taken 2 towers. But, hey, as long as you get the tower, it doesn't matter who gets the tower, really. Lodestone, his items are kind of funky. Looks like he's going for a... So this should be a free kill. It looks like it's not going to be because Grinix is going to come kill this Arachne. Yep, dead. Yeah. And you guys are up here not coming to fight. I don't totally agree with that. I think you should have come as soon as they initiated on the Lodestone. But hey, what do I know? So, Null Stone, Shield Breaker, Grinix, that's fine. Bound Eye on Ophelia, love it. Energizer, I don't particularly love it. I think she should have got like an Astrolabe or something, but it's not that big of a deal. Shroud on... I would have got a Shroud on Slither. I would have gone Helm of the Black Legion on Slither, especially against a Scout. It's such a good item on him, it really does. It gives him the time to get off all his stuff, do a lot of dot damage. And then your items, totally okay. I love the items. The Gnome's Wisdom, I think, maybe shouldn't have been your first item. If Ophelia wasn't going to get an Astrolabe, maybe Astrolabe should have been your first item. But it's fine, the Gnome's Wisdom isn't a bad item. Okay, so we've lost Voodoo Jester here. And we're about to lose our Rex. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, at this point, there's nothing you can do to even defend this. It's gone. Like, they can't come back from this. And, I mean, in reality, they could build up start with this fight at this point. But, see, they're even in tower diving into the 2 towers on a Legionnaire. That's how you know the game's over, when they can do that and still be fine, pretty much. So you've lost 2 racks at this point. This should have been a concede after the first rack's lost. I mean, there's nothing you guys can do that the Hellbourne team can do to come back from this. There really isn't. Unless the Legion team makes some significant mistakes, which actually Grinix was getting a little ballsy up here, and he did pay for it. He died in the process. It's not going to happen. And you need more than just 1 Grinix kill to come back from this. So Scout really needs a Shrunken Head. Really needs a Shrunken Head. Like that should have been his next item. I think he actually gets a Shield Breaker instead. And again, sorry for the yawning there, but okay, so Legionnaire gets a Soul's Bulwark, which actually you mentioned in the comments, Oceapollen. That's bad, and I'm not saying it's bad because of the fact that Legionnaire got it. I'm saying it's bad because Kraken already has one. So in this case, I'm not upset with Legionnaire getting a Soul's Bulwark instead of a PK, just because the fact that they're already behind. When you're so far behind, you can't really initiate anyways. So I don't think getting that instead of a PK is a terrible choice. I certainly don't like it as good as a PK still, but it's not a bad choice. It's actually okay. But getting a Soul's Bulwark when you already have a Soul's Bulwark is not needed. And I know you can do positive and negative, but it's still just, it's not needed in this case, alright? There's really no need for it. So in this case, he should have gone PK. In another case, if Kraken hadn't gotten a Soul's Bulwark, I wouldn't be totally upset about him getting one instead of a PK. That would be an okay choice, just because of how far behind you guys are. Whereas, you know, a PK is not going to help. He can't PK in because he'll insta-die. Like, they're all almost out-leveling him, with the exception of these 2. But, with the exception of Riftwalker and Ophelia. But it's just, you need more survivability before you can do things like that. So I'm actually okay with the Soul's Bulwark, except that you already had a Soul's Bulwark, so then I'm not okay with the Soul's Bulwark. Then I would have gone PK. And the PK, in this case, if he were to get a PK, isn't meant for initiation. If he used it for initiation, I would be upset. I would just want him to use it to counter-initiate when Lodestone and Grinix jump in. I would want him to jump in, taunt them off whoever they decide to jump in on. So that's my biggest mistake there. Putting Rev Wards here looks a smart idea. They should have one up here too, probably, but hey, it's fine if you're up here. Okay, putting 2 like overlapping like that's not necessary. Okay, Scout kind of doing whatever he wants. I would say that's not a good idea, considering you know they have an eye on the enemy team, but hey. And yeah, he's working towards a Shield Breaker, I'm assuming, and that's not the item he needed next. He really needed a Shrunken Head. He really needs one. He's too squishy at the moment. They could kill him. Grinix could probably solo kill him, actually. And Grinix is about to... No, he should back off on this. He shouldn't keep going. How long does that invis last, by the way? That seems like a really long invis. And he walks over this, so they know he's there. And Arachna ult? No, Arachna ult. Okay, so bad Arachna. Alright, this is where Taunt would help, but it wasn't enough, I don't think. So that was kind of unfortunate, but hey, you know, they actually got 2 of them for an Arachna Voodoo Jester. That's a pretty good trade, actually. The 2 strongest players on their team, debatably. for the two weakest players on your team, that's a pretty good trade actually. So now is where you push. You're not going to be able to push. There's no reason why you should. Now they have 2 eyes, which is stupid on the Legion team's part. There's no reason to take that chance and have 2 eyes. So that's pretty bad that he just got initiated on like that. So now you can't push. I take that back. But hey, what you gonna do, I guess? Scout kind of doing whatever he wants. Scout should come up here and kill one of these guys. Scout can definitely kill this Slither and then get out. There's no question about that. I mean, she has 4 stuns, but I actually think the Skeleton Warrior's stuns are roots, not stuns. But I mean, even if he has an eye, I think Scout could still get away with it. But hey, what do I know? You interrupted my channel way back when. Yeah, okay. Well, so now it looks like Kraken could be going for, I think that's the build towards an Assassin's Shroud too. I'm not totally sure. I'm actually going to check. Combative, Assassin's Shroud is not here. Protective, maybe? Yeah. Assassin's Shroud. Yeah, so those are 2 of the items for Assassin's Shroud. I think they could be other items too. I know, like, one of them, I think like this. Sorry for hitting the mic, by the way. I think like this item works towards Rift Shards, but there's no reason to get them both. So, okay, so he's probably going in Assassin's Shroud. Kind of a weird choice for Kraken, especially since they have 2 eyes. This is when they have 2 eyes and you're not killing them and getting the eyes. That's the point where you stop building invisible items, you know what I mean? Like, give up on that. That's obviously not going to work. That should have been a pretty unanimous decision by the entire team. But hey, what you going to do? So this is just like delaying the inevitable. There's nothing they're doing that's really helping them come back at the moment. They're just pushing the lanes back. That's not helping, you know what I mean? It's not enough. So what they should be doing, and this isn't really possible considering they've lost 2 racks, but when they lost the first racks, they should have been roaming as a pub train, all 5 together, and hoping to catch one of them out of position. Because when the game's already lost, there's things you need to do that you wouldn't normally do. For example, pub training, running around as 5, which isn't a normal thing that I would recommend people do without losing, just because it's not all beneficial, you know what I mean? The odds of just randomly finding people aren't that good. But when you've already lost the game, essentially, that's all you really have left. You have to go to drastic measures to just try and win, or try and stay in the game. So this is just going to be the last push, and that's going to end it. There we go, Scout. Ulting before the fight starts, I like that, finally. Arachna out of position as usual. I think she might actually live on this one, though. Scout initiating onto Lodestone, definitely a bad idea. You should have let him die, or at least you shouldn't have messed around with Lodestone, and you should have just, just waited for your chance to initiate or something. So that's GG. Scout's dead. These guys don't stand a chance. So they should have conceded like 15 minutes ago, probably 15 minutes ago, something like that. They've wasted a lot of time. There's a point where, like, I don't like people who concede too early, but there's a point where you need to just cut your losses and move on. You've lost the game, and there's no point in wasting everybody's time to continue to play the game. So again, Grinnick's getting greedy. He's been pretty greedy all game long. You guys haven't really succeeded in punishing him too much, but played every little bit, I guess. So yeah, item-wise, I guess he's building towards the Staff of the Master. It's not bad. I guess we have no way he was going to get it for the end. Arachna's items, totally weird. I'm assuming he was going for an Assassin's Shroud, but couldn't even get the gold for that. Scout's items, he needed a Shrunken Head. So, we're just going to recap over all the items of Legion and Hellbourne and a few of the statistics. Okay, so, Grinnick's CK, 142, 35 minutes. You're behind Grinnick's, you should be at about 175, give or take. Scout, you're actually good. You're above where you should be, considering, you were behind a little bit most of the game, but that's a good job. These two, again, 175 is where you want to be at about 35 minutes. So everybody in the game besides Scout actually finished low CK, which is not a bad thing. I didn't really expect people to do that good. Actually, Oceapollen, you should have had, and I know you already noticed this, I just want to kind of emphasize it, you should have had much higher, only considering you were a solo mid lane. If you had been playing like a support role in a side lane, you shouldn't have had more than that, but since you were playing a solo mid lane, you should have had more, although I guess it was against Scout, so it's not exactly the easiest lane to creep farm in, but just saying. Okay, so item-wise, Scout needed that Shrunken Head instead of the Shield Breaker. Not that it would have changed anything, but he really needed it. Kraken, the items are fine. I don't agree with the Assassin Shroud, which I'm assuming is what he was building. He should have finished his Demonic Breastplate, maybe, or even gone for a PK himself, or any number of things. Alright, maybe Barbed Armor would have been pretty good, too. Same thing for Legionnaire. Maybe finish the Demonic Breastplate, or, and I don't even know what this is going towards for him. I guess maybe Rift Shards or maybe an Assassin Shroud himself. I don't even know what that's towards. But so either, finish the Demonic Breastplate or get a PK finally, or, any number of Barbed Armor, any number of items. Arachna should have had that Assassin Shroud earlier, but she kind of got raped all game. I don't necessarily think it's her fault entirely. She kind of got a shitty lane to go up against, but it was her fault for a number of times where I pointed out that she was out of position pretty far. So, kind of pick that up, Arachna. You're kind of way out of positioning there a lot of the time. So, there's that. Voodoo Jester, who was actually warding, but kind of putting wards in some weird locations. Either way, though, I guess. You got a Grave Locket, and then what looks like a Staff of the Master is what he's working on next. He probably should have gotten a Shrunken Head before the Staff, but hey, what do I know, I guess. I mean, it's not terrible, but could be better. So he could have had a Shrunken. So let's see, Legion side. First of all, 2 eyes, totally unnecessary. This is a big mistake. You don't need that. Only have 1 eye and just stay together as a team. By the end of the game, when Slither got his eye, you should have just been grouping and pushing anyway, so there's no need for the second eye. Okay, so other than that, Slither's items, he went straight for Genjuros, and then what looks like maybe a Firebrand is what he's building next. No, he should have gotten the Helm, then maybe a Genjuros I'm okay with. That's fine for a second item. But yeah, you shouldn't get that first on Slither. You really need that Helm for that survivability. Slither's too squishy. I mean, he didn't die at all in this game, but I'm just saying, theoretically he should have, because he didn't build any survivability, I guess. I mean, he built the Invis, but Scout can see that if he's not stupid, and he places a ward. But, so there's that. Energizer instead of Astrolabe, and then he got Astrolabe afterwards. I think he should have gotten the Astrolabe first, and then maybe gotten the Energizer afterwards if he wanted to. The Whispering Helm is a terrible item to get on Ophelia. Don't know why he bought that. I guess just so he can control another creep. Not worth it, though. I don't know why he did that. Abyssal Skull, I'm actually fine with. So yeah, he should have built this, an Astrolabe before Energizer, and then no Whispering Helm, and it would have been a better build. Grinix, that's a pretty good build, actually. It's a pretty decent build he went. The order he went in, by the way, was he got I can't remember if he got the Nullstone before the Shield Breaker or the Shield Breaker before the Nullstone, but either way, I would have been fine with either. And then he got the Rift Shards afterwards. Lodestone, he got a Helm, and then a Heart. That's fine, I think, for him. He kind of tends to be built pretty tanky, so he can kind of initiate and stuff, so that's fine. And then Oceapollen, your items were pretty good too. I'm imagining this is going for Spell Shards, or maybe a Hellflower, I guess, but I would prefer Spell Shards, I think. And other than that, the only thing I want to comment on is the Gnome's Wisdom maybe should have been built into an Astrolabe, only because Ophelia didn't build it initially. Or potentially into a Storm Spirit. That would have been a good item to have against this team too. More crowd control is never a bad thing. You could have gone for a Culture Sheep Stick, but it would have cost you like a lot of money, and you probably never would have gotten it. So I would have think Storm Spirit would have been good. Other than that, though, the Legion team did pretty good, with the exception of their creep score being a little behind. The Hellbourne team mostly did pretty good, with the exception of Arachna and a little bit of Legionnaire's item choices, and maybe some Kraken item choices too. Well, I guess item choices for the whole team was a little bit off, but not off enough to cost you the game. So pretty much the only reason they lost was because of this Arachna. Had Arachna played, a more supporty hero and played better, they would have won, I think. That's really the only reason, because otherwise Lodestone and Grinix wouldn't have been that fed, and Scout would have stood a chance at fighting them, and then the Hellbourne team could have come back from it. So it actually all comes down to Arachna feeding constantly. And it's rare, because usually when somebody feeds, that's usually not the reason that the game was lost to begin with. It's usually a team effort, but this was actually mostly Arachna, and then some item choices from the rest of the teammates. It's not like they're fully, free of blame here, but it's mostly Arachna, I would say. But it is a team game still, so it's not like you can't blame somebody and then just call it a day. The team together loses, so you kind of need to make up for somebody when they're doing poorly. I think they should have helped her in her lane. Like I said, they should have either swapped or ganked more. Either or, though, they didn't do. I think that is actually like the moment where the game was sealed, when they didn't help Arachna in her lost lane. You can't just concede lanes and hope that it's going to work out. That doesn't work. You need to work as a team. You need to help. Okay, so other than that, I think had they swapped lanes and sent Scout there, I think they actually would have done better. Now, I don't think they would have won still, because in all honesty, Arachna was just not a very good player. As I mentioned, after the laning phase, she was out of position a number of times, so I don't think her not feeding would have helped. I think she still probably would have been feeding quite a bit. I hope not as much, but I think she still would have been feeding a significant amount. But so this was just a case of getting outplayed, really. Arachna kind of threw the game for pretty much the whole team. But again, I think the team should have helped her a bit. So it's not like everybody's fully free of blame. But that was that. I hope this helped anybody who's watching for future reference. I'm going to say it a number of times in any of the videos I say. Don't just concede lanes. It's a team game. Help your team if they need it. It's better than losing the game just because you want to be stubborn and don't want to leave your lane. If somebody lost their lane, they lost their lane. You have to go help. That's how it works. So, be team players, guys. Help out your team. Other than that, though, thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it and learned something. Maybe go help your lanes from now on. Or don't play with this Arachna, either or. But I hope you guys enjoyed it and learned something. And you know where the like and subscribe buttons are. Hit them if you want. Or the dislike button. And please tell me why you disliked. I'd appreciate it. And other than that, this has been HoN Replay Analysis. And GG, well played, guys. I will talk to you later. Elfis out.